inside the 57 Chevy Nomad, driving between Boise and Salt Lake City. Steve Purdy from the Auto Channel is sitting next to me here, and this is Valerie O'Shea in the back seat.
Hi.
She's the executive assistant at the America's Car Museum in Tacoma, Washington. Steve, you actually owned a 57 Chevy at one point.
I did in my younger days when I was between jobs. My brother Wendell bought me a 1957 Chevy for 60 bucks from one of his clients. It had no suspension in the rear. It had fenders of 4 different colors, but it was a 283 power pack, so it was a pretty meaty car. Great fun to drive. Maybe got 5 miles to the gallon, but at that point, gasoline was 25 cents a gallon, so it was no big deal. I'd go into the gas station and say, give me a couple of bucks worth of cheap stuff, and I'd drive all night on it. But a 57 Chevy, this Nomad kind of brings back the feel of that car. This is in much better shape than mine was, of course, but it's truly a visceral experience to drive an old car like this. It's so tactile. Everything you feel, you can also hear. And it's just, it gives you so much feedback. Now, look, the steering here, there's no power steering. It does not have an on-center movement to it at all, but you feel every bit of the road through that. Look at this skinny steering wheel. It's like holding a pencil. It's so narrow and skinny, but it's really cool. And this this Nomad we're in. And we won't call it a Nomad wagon because that would be redundant. A Nomad is a wagon, a 2-door wagon, very collectible. Chevy made them from 55 through 57. Not very many of them, which makes them very collectible. But this one is not stock. This one has a 283. I mean, this one has a 327. The original would have had a 283 V8. That also has a 4-speed manual transmission, and the original would have only come with a 3-speed on the column. So this has a Hurst shifter on the floor, and I'm not sure what kind of a transmission is behind it, but it's, again, a very visceral experience when you try to modulate the clutch and the shifter and all the other, and the non-power steering and all the other things you have to do with this car. But another wonderful thing about it is the sound. In modern cars, they go to great pains to deaden all the sound, and this one is not. You can hear the rumble of the engine, you can hear the tires, you can hear just about everything. There's a little twitter in the dash that goes along with the car. I think it's because they disconnected the speedometer because it was starting to chirp or something. So that's probably the cable, the mechanical cable that goes from the speedometer to the transmission, just rattling along inside the steering column there, or the dash there. But another nice thing about an old car like this, and all of the cars that we're driving today, is when you look out over the hood, it has character. A modern car normally will just be a little bit of a dome. Some of them you can see a little bit of a fender line, but look at this. It has 2 rocket light projections out of the hood. The fenders are very distinctive with a little ridge down them, and you feel like you're driving a car with this wonderful old thing. So behind the wheel of a car like this is truly a wonderful experience, and one, for me, that's pretty nostalgic.
Valerie, you're in the back seat.
Yep.
And you're probably enjoying the ride because you've been driving this car the last couple of days too.
I have been driving it. Now I'm the back seat driver, so here I am, just chilling out, watching the scenery, which I haven't done much of. This is a great car. I love it. And as Steve said, driving it's amazing and very visceral. So we are having a great time on the drive home.
Is this a pretty popular car in the museum? People to see?
Yeah, people love this car. Not everyone knows what a Nomad is, but people, when they see it, they just flock around it. And especially a lot of the people of my generation grew up going on family vacations in station wagons, and so they all love the station wagons and flock to them and reminisce about their family vacations.
It's got a lot of room in the back.
Very roomy. I'm living large.
I think you actually, when we couldn't get the doors open the other day, I think I actually saw you climbing in through the back, right?
Yep. My yoga practice has helped me just slide right on through the back of the Nomad to the front and get us in.
Well, I tell you what, this is such a great experience, and I think that it's one of those things that's it's going to be etched in my brain. I'm sure Steve and Valerie's too for a long time. So we are enjoying the ride. We're on our way from Boise to Salt Lake City in a '57 Chevy Nomad.